This is the new CBS Sports Radio 1140, Las Vegas' sports station, broadcasting in HD on 100.5 HD2.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into the annex here. I'm Carlos Danger, joined by my co-host, Dennis Silvers. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to go right into Pace of Play.
Now, it's Pace of Play.
Come on, Glenn! Come on! Get your head in the damn game!
Putting the boys on the clock.
I guess we're playing for keeps now.
The fuck?
All right, Dennis forgot his glasses today, so I'm going to have to read all these. Apparently, my print putting this script together is
It's more you're writing them for me forgetting my glasses.
Well, everybody knows that's not true. But all right, first topic here. Phil Mickelson has now recently complained about the steep tax rate he's forced to pay for all of these wins, the Scottish Open win and his British Open win over the last couple weeks. A few months ago, he criticized the state of California for the tax structure there where he lives. Is he kidding? Is this something that he really feels strongly about?
I think Lee. I think he really feels strongly about it, and it's kind of pathetic in a way. 99.99% of the people in this country only wish they had that problem, that they're making too much money, they're paying too much in taxes. I mean, that's the way it is. You got to do your part. He knows what he's getting into, and sure, everybody wants to accumulate as much money as they can. But you and I both know he's got more money than he's ever going to spend, for crying out loud. So that's just the way it is. And if you may not like it, nobody likes paying taxes, really. But, keep it to yourself. And as far as California, that's always been a tough place to live, always been a tough place as far as local taxes and community, whatever. Phil, move. Go back to Arizona where they have no state tax. Go to Florida where they have no state tax. Quit bitching about it and do something about it. If not, keep quiet.
Well, I guess my take on this is I didn't read any articles where I heard him complain. I guess I read some articles where it was brought up of how much he was gonna.
Right.
So I may have missed that. Missed him complaining, but I know that he did about the state of California. Kind of went backwards on those statements and talked about talked about how much he enjoys California, but doesn't necessarily enjoy the tax structure. One thing that's difficult is when you go over there, you don't only just pay tax on your earnings. He's paying taxes on any sponsorships, on any appearance fees, on partial endorsement deals, because he's playing over there, which is tough to handle. But at the same time, everybody knows that going in.
Exactly.
So if you know it going in, either don't go and play or whatever. But
and it's true, and he is getting dinged twice, because not only does he have to pay the local taxes, so to speak, over in Scotland, he's got to pay California taxes on it too. But on the other hand, Lee, you and I wouldn't be bitching about it that much if we won $1.4 million for winning a tournament. But
I will say, and I know we didn't talk about it a ton, but big congratulations to Phil. That was an awesome last 6 holes that he played. And skipping down here, I want to talk about Phil a little bit. I'm going to pat myself on the back.
Why?
And we'll go back and get the video and the audio. But there was a question in our Pace of Play segments a long time ago about Phil winning another major. And I said that he would. You said that he would not. I did pick that he was going to win Pinehurst next year, which was incorrect. But I said that he would, and I think it's another question of is he going to win another one? He obviously now has the U.S. Open as his only major that he has not won. Has won over 40 times.
Yep.
He's only 43, which in today's day and age golf is pretty young. What's the age that he is going to win his last tournament?
That's a good question. I can't see Phil playing up until he's eligible for the Champions Tour. I think he's going to be long gone, long retired. Doesn't need to. And just revert back to his golf course design or his other businesses or stuff. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think Phil's going to play forever.
Do you think? I don't think so.
I really do, and the reason I do is because I think he genuinely. There's some people that talk about Phil being a little fake in certain areas and this and that with some of the things he does. But one thing that I do, and I don't know Phil from from Adam. But I do think that he genuinely likes the fans. And he genuinely likes signing autographs, and he genuinely likes spending some time with those fans. And I think he's one of those that doesn't want to lose that.
Well, I can't blame him.
And I think that he can play the regular tour probably till he's 60.
Probably.
The way that he plays now.
We'll see what how much he is motivated to do that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. All right, for the first time ever, fans will get the opportunity to pick a hole location during a professional event. The upcoming PGA Championship in August is the 15th hole par 3 at Oak Hill. The fans are going to be able to vote online and pick this hole location for this golf course. You think this is a good idea, or we taken this a little too far to get the fans involved?
It's stupid. I'll tell you why it's stupid. Because you know that the average fan out there who is in awe of most of these tour professionals want to see these guys really have to suck it up, want to make it as difficult for them as possible. And I bet you that most of this voting will go to this inane, stupid, ridiculous pin placement that's just going to make it impossible for these guys not only to get it close, but maybe to get it within 20 feet. I just don't. What's the big deal about doing that? I think it's like I say, they're going to pick a stupid. They would put it in the water, for crying out loud, if they had a chance to do it. If the tour would go along with it, they're not going to. It does suck. They're not going to use their head. Oh no, why make it the back left? They could all get to that. Let's make it the front right, where they have no chance to keep it on the green. It's going to roll off into the bunker. It's going to roll off into the water. It's going to roll off into the hazards. They're pinheads.
Well, I completely disagree. I like this idea because I like continuing to get fans involved in every aspect. And one way that fans have never been involved is in course setup. For good reason. I do agree with that. We have professionals that are doing this. But remember, this is the PGA of America. This is the 4th major. Quite possibly you could drop it down even further as to tournaments that people want to win, even though it is a major. So they're trying to do some things to really bring this major championship into the forefront.
What's next? They're gonna vote on where the tee should be placed on each hole?
I think that's a possibility. They're going to give four choices that Kerry Haig, who sets up the golf courses for the PGA of America, has already chosen. So they're not going to be in a bunker or in some crazy spot. He has picked them, and the fans get one of 4 choices. So I think this is an absolutely great idea. I hope it gets out there and really catches some traction. And maybe before the PGA Championship we can talk about it. Yeah. But I think it's really cool. All right, next, Colin Montgomerie, your boy, one of your favorites. Favorites. Has suggested a shot clock to be used to assist pace of play, in golf tournaments, especially in ones that tend to take a long time, upwards of 5 hours to play. Is this possible? You think this is a good idea?
I don't know. This is not the NBA, number one. And number two, I just don't think it's a practice. Pace of play is, thank you.
I think that was an alarm clock.
That was an alarm clock. Pace of play is a huge problem. We both know that. And it needs to be addressed. The Tour and all the other golf organizations are trying to do something about it. But, Lee, it's impractical. What if you're on a shot clock and all of a sudden, you're ready to hit and you find out you've got the wrong club? You got the wrong club. You got to go back.
That was
to
a
your
car
back.
alarm.
Yeah, you go back to your caddy, or all of a sudden a lie dictates having to study the shot a little bit more, getting the gallery out of the way. Something the idea is tremendous. It needs to be pace play needs to be sped up, but I just don't think a shot clock per se is a very practical way to do it.
I think a shot clock.
That was the alarm clock.
Is
yes.
I think this is a great idea. How it gets implemented, to your point, I think we'll take some research. And
they're going to have guys
practice.
Walking around with a stopwatch. An official. There you go.
Here's the issue. That was a school.
Do that in the middle of their backswing.
I think that what needs to be done here is the biggest culprit of pace of play, in my opinion, is people not hitting the shot not ready to hit the shot, preparing to hit the next shot. So my point would be is that when the ball stops from the previous shot that was hit, you start the minute. And if you don't hit the shot in a minute, you get penalized. Or at least after a while, if you're behind, then that starts. Because you have to prepare to hit the shot. Guys out there are looking up in the sky, talking to their
they're
caddy
checking the
and doing
wind. That's
whatever.
what I'm saying.
Oh, it's my turn.
And no, I'm telling you, nobody's going to like this idea on tour. You know, when they're on the clock now, quote unquote, and you know nothing happens to them anyway.
Yeah.
They start getting a little agitated. They start getting a little nervous. And when you put them under a clock every shot, they are not going to like it.
No
by
question.
any means.
I think it's just something that maybe needs to be researched at a lower level, maybe on some smaller tours, to see what can be done.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous out there.
Well, it is. It is. But we'll see.
All right. Second to last question here. We're going to do this one quickly. We spoke with the gentleman this morning that shot 56.
Right.
We had a 59 shot on the web.com this year.
Right.
Or last week. 2 weeks ago, we had another 59 shot. We've had a ton of 59s on the PGA Tour. Is it time? And I don't know if it's the USGA. I mean, that's where I'm pinpointing this question. But the wedge groove thing not working. This anchor band, address something different.
Like
56, 59, 50, like the golf ball.
Well,
okay.
It is the golf ball.
No question.
That's the bottom line. It's the golf ball.
So, are we just going to continue to allow these scores to be shot? Or are we? And
we have no choice.
And I guess my question is: are we okay with it?
I think we're.
Al
okay.
Geiberger's not okay with it.
He's not okay with it, but I think we have no choice to allow them to be continued to see people shoot 59s and whatever. Number one, it's just to me it's an aberration. Somebody shoots 59 or lower, it's an aberration. It's not an everyday thing. But the biggest culprit, you're right, is the golf ball, and that's why guys like Palmer, Nicklaus, all these other icons are completely, I think, correct in their view of saying we've got to dial back.
But I think
golf
that's
ball.
The point. Is it's becoming not an aberration when it happened 2 weeks ago.
I think
it happened this week.
Yeah.
It's becoming to where it happens every year. Then it happens once a quarter, and I think something needs to be done about it before it gets out of hand.
Well, you might be right, and I think they're looking at that. But you'll have to agree with me that so far it's the golf ball.
And that's if somebody doesn't like 59s. There's a lot of people out there that like tons of birdies and all that type of thing.
Exactly.
All right, last one here. Beer sales. We're going a little off topic, but it kind of has to do with golf, and we've talked a little bit about drinking on this show already. But beer sales in this country over the first half of the year are down 3%. Versus prior year, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, I could just see the
versus
head on that beer that we just poured there. Did you hear that? They're down 3%, which is amazing.
People are out of
horrible.
work, and a hike in payroll taxes are a couple of the reasons.
Exactly.
Is this something that this country should be concerned about? Beer sales down 3%.
Only for the people that drink it. You know what I mean? And I think that I'll tell you the quickest way, Lee, to get beer sales up 3% instead of having them decline 3%. If they can clone 20 people like you, if they can clone 20 Lee Smiths, I'm telling you the damn beer sales would go through the roof.
Well, no question. That was one of my first points is that I'm doing my part.
Definitely you're doing your part.
Secondly, this is talking about beer sales, not necessarily beer consumption.
Drinking. Yeah, right.
Of which I have the body to prove that my beer consumption is just fine as well. Interesting here, though, that they talk about people being out of work being a reason why beer sales are down.
You'd think they'd be up there. You got to be a little more depressed. They want to get in a la-la land and forget all their troubles.
On days that I don't work, I drink more beer and purchase more beer than on days that I do work. That is a guarantee.
All right, that's going to do it for Pace of Play. We'll try to keep the head on this beer and stay with us. We're going to wrap up more of the 19th Low Weekend Edition right after this. Pop me open another Molson, will you?
Well, it takes a lot of balls to